What's up, guys, and welcome back to JDL 10. We got game 2 between Exodus and T-Show on the way. Game 1 was a long one. What a slugfest. It was like 50 minutes in and the game was dead even. Don't get to see that all that often, but Exodus with some great Storm Spirit play, some great positioning, slightly better than that of T-Show, at least consistently better than that of T-Show, are going to claim game 1 in the best of 2. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this game. We also got Shazam going up against EWolves after this, but I'm not sure if we will end in time. I will jump in if I can, guys, but if you come here expecting it, I don't know what to tell you. I don't abandon a series. That's not how it works. I don't think the admins are going to hold the game, but hopefully these guys play quickly so we can catch all the games. Either way, we got a Faceless Void Lich opening for Exodus. Certainly a very interesting one. Getting that Lich along with the Void. We've seen these two occasionally do some work in the off lane together. It really depends on who's going to go towards that off lane. It may or may not be abusable in that sense. But outside of that, you get the extra armor to deal with the Slardar, and things are not too bad from there on out. Although I do think that in general, Faceless Void openings, Witch Doctor, Phoenix, slightly stronger. This is going to be a lane play for Exodus, so we'll see if they can get ahead in that regard and really show why they are the favorites in this matchup over last game, where it was a little bit more up in the air. The T-Show side, grabbing the Lion along with the Slardar is certainly very interesting. Now, the Lion, in response to a Faceless Void, is perfectly reasonable. Slardar is picked up over the Beastmaster. Certainly an interesting decision there for T-Show, and one that screams to me, hey, we want to do something with this amplified damage that cannot be done with a Beastmaster and his more guaranteed style. And the amplified damage is always going to be nice for the Faceless Void and the Lich, but now with the Death Prophet being banned out by T-Show themselves, how do they actually leverage this minus armor? Witch Doctor seems like a reasonable pick to keep that out of the hands of Exodus. Alternatively, grabbing some of those roamers, Earth Spirit still in the pool, would be good for, maybe not minus armor reasons, but just for general early game control reasons. T-Show really would have liked to have that in the early stages of the last game. The Lion's an okay start here for T-Show, but so far, just Lion versus Faceless Void matchup is, I suppose, kind of nice. But other than that, not all that impressive. T-Show are thinking about it. As far as anti-Faceless Void is concerned, there's not that much you can do except for have a slew of disables ready for him. If you pick up a Vengeful Spirit, you get a little more minus armor, but they are on the Radiant side, so the benefits of minus armor isn't going to be quite as large. They grab a Sven, who is kind of just the catch-all here. I feel like they're picking this up because they don't really feel like showing off too many cards, while at the same time they don't really know what they're doing. They don't know what Exodus are doing either. I mean, Sven is okay versus Faceless Void, I suppose. Warcry certainly does help in that regard, but not when there's a Chain Frost bouncing in there, It's not really going to do a ton. I mean, the minus armor is certainly nice for the Sven. Slardar in the off lane. Maybe going to run into some problems here. Exodus can decide to run this a little bit greedy. Faceless Void, Lich in the dual safe lane, or even in the dual off lane, depending on what T-Show are going to run there. T-Show's heroes are perfectly reasonable in that regard, but for sure not going to be dominating any lanes. At least not with this setup that we see currently right now. There's a lot of physical damage coming up, though, for T-Show, and Timbersaw is still in the pool. I mean, as nice as the armor is from the Slardar, minus armor is from the Slardar, reactive armor is going to counterbalance that most of the time, especially when you have the ice armor from Lich on top of that. Up against two strength heroes, to me it seems like a no-brainer. You just don't want to give that chance to give it to the T-Show side either. But Exodus are going to say no to the Timbersaw almost in its entirety and grab an Invoker. Now, Faceless Void, Timbersaw don't really play all that well with one another. They can get the job done with Chakram, but other than that, like Chronosphere, Timber Chain, Whirling Death, they don't really play well with one another.
10 seconds remaining.
The Invoker is going to be a lot more of a direct response to the Faceless Void. And as far as going up against the massive melee heroes is concerned, Invoker does do that fairly well. I would expect it to be, well, I mean, right now it looks like a Wex build is almost preferable. You don't know what T-Show's mid lane hero is going to be. You will have the luxury of going up against Sven Slardar, who if you burn them out of mana, if you hit them with the Cold Snap, they're just screwed. Alternatively, Exor does put a lot more damage into the Chronosphere, and if Exodus pick up another stunner, really any stunner, then they could set up for some pretty nice early game kills, especially if they want to lane this offensive dual lane I was talking about before. It gets a hell of a lot more effective once you're also working with the Sunstrike. Man, but this is now the third strength hero for T-Show. Can Exodus actually fit a Timbersaw into their draft? If safe lane Faceless Void, off lane Timbersaw with a Lich or something like that, in any of those lanes, really? It's just so good here. This Elder Titan pick is certainly very interesting. They have a little more minus armor now, but Exodus already have this Lich. It's frequently, or at least used to be frequently, seen in direct response to an Elder Titan, just to get some guaranteed armor, because the natural order does not take out ice armor. It just takes out the armor that's base and from agility, which Exodus don't really have a lot of. I mean, Faceless Void is an okay amount. It's not really the best. I don't know if they could fit a Timbersaw in this, though. Lifestealer would have also been good, but that was first banned out. BSJ Diffusal Lifestealer. Yeah, it did its job mostly. Kind of overshadowed, though, by Slayer's Storm. Slayer Invoker? It should be definitely a treat to see. It's a Disruptor pick for Exodus. It's more heroes that are good up against this swath of melee heroes from T-Show. Not necessarily a stellar hero here for Exodus. Or combo-wise, they definitely have it with the Faceless Void. Control, just letting the Lich and Invoker do their thing while the enemies are stuck in the Static Storm. It seems perfectly okay for Exodus to grab this hero, especially if they are looking to run the Lich on the bottom lane, then the Disruptor to support the top lane is definitely something you want to be doing. The last picks are going to definitely flavor this draft quite a bit. I mean, T-Show, they're just working with a lot of damage. They do have a lot of control on top of that, but all their damage is almost exclusively just like versus heroes. You could God Strength down towers, but their structural damage is limited. And Timbersaw will now be banned out. So this last pick is going to show us what Exodus's lanes are actually going to look like. T-Shows are a little bit more obvious. Slaughter, top lane, Sven. Well, I guess they can run an offensive tri-lane. I don't know if you want to be doing that up against a Lich, though. Like, Lich sacrificing out an offensive tri-lane hurts so much. You just never get experience ever. You're going to take out the PA. This is something that some of these South American teams have experimented with to mixed degrees of success. Exodus already have a lot of spell damage, though. It's a great way of getting around the war cry from Sven. Just blast him with nukes. Combo with the Faceless Void last pick. Abaddon. We're going straight to the NA region for this one, guys. Got a safe lane Faceless Void with an off lane Abaddon. Is it a dual lane Abaddon Lich? Can you do that? I don't know. T-Show's defensive tri-lane is looking pretty scary. Like, they have the damage, they have more than enough control. Of course, all that control can just be nullified by one Aphotic Shield, but who knows?
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think you have to prepare around this Abaddon too much as T-Show. Looking for that mid lane matchup versus Invoker, DP out. You can just go for, I was going to say a puck. I was actually going to say a puck for the extra control over Faceless Void. The burst damage would certainly be nice as well, but you'd rather just silence the enemies than, silence the enemies and let Sven do his thing, the coil to keep them all in place. I'm going to put up the overlay, guys. I'm going to check if my dog wants to come in. Again, that last game was a lot longer than I planned, so got to take care of some stuff on the side. I'll be right back. Oh, my dog. She's inside. Don't worry, guys. And I didn't miss a thing. We're right back in it. But yeah, this is NA region, the only region that actually experiments with this at all. Like, I don't think I've seen any other region go for an offlane Abaddon ever. So definitely the NA specialty right now. If NA does have a specialty, right? Brokeback. But either way, T-Show going to be loading out on the Radiant. Lane-wise, doesn't look like it's going to be super surprising. Just Slaughter ready to go towards the jungle as needed, but otherwise planning towards that offlane. Up against the Faceless Void. And the Disruptor, it's not incredibly dangerous, actually. Slaughter trading hits with the Faceless Void is not really advisable, but should be able to at least get some experience otherwise. Like, their kill power is mostly being set up by like lucky bashes into Sunstrikes or glimpse into Sunstrike. It's not really that impressive. And we'll see where this Lich wants to go from Exodus as well. He really does have the power of swinging the lane, although for Sovereign down towards bottom lane, stun 1 already been thrown out. Baga has leveled up the spike. They have an orb as well. He's going to shield himself for a little bit of extra juice, but the orbs and right click should get the kill. Sovereign to fall. He's going to give up first blood, much like in last game. In this game, though, it's the Puck to grab the last hit. And that is big. Puck versus Invoker is usually going to be a Puck-favored matchup, at least until the Invoker gets a couple more points in Extort, where he's able to kind of equalize the last hitting score, but at that point he's already a little bit far behind. Now that he has his extra gold, he's able to do just this. Grab the Salve, as per normal for Pucks, grab the Bounty Rune, and suddenly he's pretty much already halfway towards his bottle. Whereas for the Invoker, I mean, he's got the extra damage and everything, he's gone for the exact same build as the Puck, but he won't really have that quick transition into another item. The Lich may be able to equalize this at least somewhat, but that gold advantage on the Puck is absolutely massive here for the T-Show squad. And turns out last hits don't count heroes. TIL. I actually did not pay attention to that ever before, and now I know, I guess. But hey, the Invoker will have some experience advantage, and the Lich looks like he's just going to give that Invoker that one stack of that range creep, and is going to try to help out Sovereign down towards bottom lane. Now, we've seen dual lanes with Lich before. As far as playing aggressively, I feel like you need boots or wind laces to really get this done. Like, there's so much stun duration here on this bottom lane that you really have to be careful with your positioning as footy. And as Sovereign, like, do you really want to chase after the enemies while only having like a 10 movement speed advantage? He's actually even in movement speed with Baga since he has the wind laces. That first blood may have costed Exodus quite a bit from this lane. They still will be able to drain out this lane of experience by quite a nice margin. So that is like a non-zero reason why they're actually running this lane. Just keep sacrificing those range creeps. Keep the T-Show supports and core, honestly, starved of experience. And then hopefully get something done offensively, at least pressure-wise. Make sure that Lunaro messes up some of his last hits occasionally. Get a couple denies, because you're still getting experience on this dual offlane as Exodus, as long as you're not dying. The trade-off, of course, that Lich, though he is doing that, could also be a different hero, could be up towards top lane, and making sure that the Slaughter is completely out of play. He is very much so live in this top lane, over... Oh, X-Slayer taking some damage. But Slaughter is doing a pretty good job towards top lane. He's almost guaranteed experience here. He may just decide to jungle because it's a much better way, much more solid way of getting income. But as it stands, this is Exodus kind of making trade-offs for the safe lane in exchange for pressuring the enemy safe lane as well. And we'll see a little bit down the line, taking a look at their experience gain, if that's actually going to be worth it in the long run. It really depends on how aggressive Exodus are able to be and how many kills T-Show are able to get in response. Over towards the mid lane, though, we got a rotation in onto Slayer. This is a haste rune Slaughter, but he's already used his Crush. Slayer's not the fastest hero in the world. Down towards bottom lane now, they're going to go for Footy. Shield has already been used on Sovereign. That means there's no shield to follow up this stomp. Footy's going to get a Frost Blast out, but that's it. Lunaro, he's going to hit with the Curse of Avernus. Abaddon has a level 1 shield. Can he actually pop it onto Lunaro? He's going to take a hammer, return some damage here, but now he's just going to right-click down. Spike is there as well. And Tail's going to grab a double kill on this bottom lane. Elder Titan ready to rock. And for Exodus, this is the short part of their lane. This is the bad part. The good part is that while they're not doing anything, while everyone's playing super passively, they're slowly getting further and further ahead because of Sacrifice, which is probably going to be used soon by Footage to get some more experience. But if they actually get into a fight, there's just so much stun duration here, and more stun duration equals more time to right-click, equals more damage, and that's Exodus's team just not being able to compete with that damage output. So they do have to kind of avoid fights that are even, I guess, where they're outnumbered, where it's 3v2. Sunstrike, he's going to dodge that. Slayer failing that one. But hey, you go for that anyway. Everyone's dying to these neutral creeps, goddamn. Every single time a message pops up here and I'm not looking at it, I'm like, oh my god, I missed something. But we do have a Slaughter now, teaming up with ET. Level 2, so Spirit Stomp is up, and Slayer's playing this fairly aggressively. He's therefore pretty far out in the lane. Stomp's going to land. Crush follow up. They're going to wait for the Puck to get a little bit closer. They land the Crush. TB's coming in for the Disruptor. Slayer, though, going to take a lot of right clicks. Fields goes up. Mandy's going to slip right through it, but Slayer eats the Fairy Fire. Will be just fine. Orbing through. Puck can't quite connect. Is still going to teleport to it. Sunstrike is there now. He walks right into it, and he's going to get killed. But he gets the kill on the Invoker beforehand. Frozen, can he kill off Tail? Looking for that glimpse. Is going to get him back. Not quite into tower range. Oh, into tower range. Actually got him. Frozen should be able to slip out of his own field. Mandy cannot follow. That will be a 2-for-1 over in the mid lane. Disruptor cashing in hard there. Suddenly pushing level 5 4 minutes in. He's like the same level as his friendly Invoker. That should not be happening. By the way, Slayer does get a kill. Or they do get the kill on the puck, however, that is a posthumous kill. Guys, EWolves versus Shazam should be starting in 10 minutes. They say that they might have a no-show. I'll just quote you guys straight from the group. If you are starting just now, I doubt we will wait, although we might have a no-show. We will see how things go. We'll keep you posted. So, yeah, we're going to stick with the series. We're not going to abandon ship. But if you're looking for Shazam versus EWolves, there might be some other streams that are unofficial. You might have to crawl around Twitch to find them. I do not know where those streams are. I will get to it after this game, but I cannot make any promises for right now. So, apologies. But the last game, game 1, went for like 70 minutes. Not much you can do about that, right? They're going to get the stun to Sovereign. Hammer stun, follow-up is there. Diving tower, though, kind of risky into an Abaddon who can just shield himself. However, the Hex stun, it's there, and it's good. TP coming in for BSJ is going to land a 3-man. Chronosphere, Footsie walks right into it, but they do land a Sunstrike onto Tail. Focusing down to Baga as well. They get 1 kill. They should be able to get a second, and they will. Now looking for Lenaro. Bash, sometimes lucky for BSJ. Found 1. Time walk forward, looking for more. 1 hit. They don't have enough mana for a Frost Blast. They need another couple of hits. Oh, yeah, they had Bash. BSJ, Lenaro's going to try to juke his way through. He puts up the armor. Warcry might hold here. Still trying to juke his way through, but he walks right into the mace. In the meantime, they dive in deep for the Invoker. Man taking tower shots. Will be able to slip away. But still, it's a full wipe on this bottom lane in favor of Exodus. The Lich is able to keep himself alive, now level 5. And yeah, they do lose the Abaddon, but at the end of the day, it's just an Abaddon. He's not really a terribly huge cost to the team. As long as he is able to get his experience up, yeah, he'll be just fine. And, you know, maybe get a mechanism or something like that. But even if he doesn't get that, no big deal. Man, did you not die to these creeps? That would be so embarrassing right now. Like, I can't even tell you how embarrassing that would be. You'd just be the laughing stock of this game. Don't do it, bro. Careful, man. Okay, he should be fine. I don't think they have enough damage to kill him off, unless suddenly they decide to catch Mana Burn, which they don't actually do. Glimpse back short onto the puck. There is a field, Static Storm. They need a Sunstrike to land. Puck is going to stay in it, and with a couple more right clicks, they'll grab the puck kill. The rotations from Exodus have been absolutely perfect. The Disruptor now, of course, level 6, pushing level 7, is still neck and neck with his Invoker. Up towards top lane now, BSJ going to get into a fight with Tail. This is a Faceless Void, though. You don't mess with that guy. Level 7 Power Treads, looking for a Hand of Midas first. With this Gloves of Haste, sure, it should be a pretty reasonable timing. Still T-Show, rotation of the Faceless Void on point, or rotation of the Disruptor on point. It's kind of what you have to do when you're running dual lanes. Just be willing to rotate them out. Slayer, in the meantime, is drawing pretty much evenly with the puck. Slight deficit, but not the end of the world. Especially for an Invoker, an Exhort Invoker at that. He could definitely recover very quickly, especially with a little bit of backup. I don't know if they were spotted by this Radiant Ward, if any of the supports were. Okay, they definitely were. They know exactly what's going on. In the meantime, you know, while that's happening, Sovereign's chilling on bottom lane, getting some good farm, getting his levels up, most importantly. Gonna go for a maxed out Curse of Avernus. The upside is certainly there if you're able to hit someone. Just Faceless Void is able to dish out the damage afterwards, but it's not always guaranteed that you're going to be able to get those hits off. Frozen has a glimpse target onto Lenaro. Static Storm is there, so there's no hammer, but there may just be an Elder Titan Stomp. Still, the damage of the Sven is absolutely massive. A couple more right clicks. He's going to turn around with the hammer and the God Strength. Sunstrike will land onto Mandy. I think actually it missed. Now they get the Frost Blast. Rotation is again on point for Exodus. A crush and a TP attempt. That's not going to happen. Double kill for Frozen. Level 7, almost level 8, and now jump forward. Chronosphere gonna land not only on the Elder Titan, but also on the tower, so they can dive this with impunity. Shield up, Frost Blast out. Tail's gonna run to the north into Frozen's clutches. TP coming back. It's the puck. He's gonna coil up only onto Footy here. There's a shield that'll protect the Lich, and now the puck is way overextended by himself. Time walk in for BSJ. More TPs are coming in. However, it's the Sven. He can't easily hammer from that TP angle, so he's gonna have to just sit back and watch as Exodus clean house on the bottom lane, leaving a lot of space for Slayer to farm over in mid. It's another massive exchange for Exodus as they lose literally nobody, I think. The net worth is going to start to climb in favor of the Dire by a large margin. They're going to use this gold to get even further ahead. As Artosis says, when you're ahead, get more ahead. Exodus are not in a rush. Faceless Void core really isn't all that great when you only have an Abaddon in your offlane. Slayer is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Glimpse back is going to drag the Chain Frost away, but still the field may hold Soft Spike. Sneaking its way through. VV in a little bit of trouble now. They're going to chase him down. Stomp from tail. Get a land. Slowing up Sovereign. Finger of Death onto the Disruptor. And suddenly it's the Lich and Abaddon. Way overcommitted. Shield's going to pop. There's no Mistcoil here on Sovereign, so he's going to have to run in. He does have the borrowed time. Going to get a little bit of juice back, but Tail's way too quick with the boots and the Astral Spirit movement speed. That's now Exodus to take a spill. This exact thing happened in the last game. Like, they were in control of the game. They lost a couple of fights, and suddenly Tisha were able to tie things up. Now, that being said, Exodus are still in control because they have the double minuses, or soon to be double minuses ticking away. Tisho should have no similar item. Lunaro, hell, doesn't even have his Helm of the Dominator just yet, which of course means there's no Ancients being stacked. So this Sven, not off to the fastest of starts. That's kind of the impact of having a Lich dual lane to deal with. BSJ, he's already working with the acceleration from the Hand of Midas. Power Tread's already up on him. His attack speed is actually quite high. Faceless Void, it usually seems like you have the slowest attack speed in the world. They're going to get the jump in onto the puck. 3-man coil is there. Stomp follow-up is going to be canceled by the Static Storm of Frozen. Again, he delivers. That'll also kill off the puck, but Sovereign and Frozen, not too healthy. Chronosphere is going to keep them both safe. That means Frozen, one more shot is going to kill him off, but they got to land a Chronosphere on the back lines. That'll drop Lunaro super low. BSJ looking for the time locks. Will fail to get a couple of them. Now stomped up. Tail still right-clicking away. BSJ has a time walk out. And Exodus are able to take a 2-for-2 exchange over in mid. Losing expendable heroes, dropping a Chronosphere, getting farm on the heroes that matter. I mean, Elder Titan, yeah, gets most of the gold there, but Elder Titan gets most of the gold there. That's not really that great for the T-Show squad. Slayer still free farming in the meantime. And that was so close to being an escape there from the Disruptor. He had to go to the north to dodge the Earth Splitter. Got the Glimpse back, but Glimpse takes just a little bit too long to kick in. Would have been huge. Would have been huge. Yeah, still we got the double Midases up on the Exodus side. 1,000 gold on BSJ. Diffusal Blade is actually legit here on Faceless Void. He went for it as Lifestealer. In this game, I think it's even better on the Void. So, yeah, I don't see a reason why he shouldn't be going for that. Like, it mostly is able to purge off the minus armor of the Slardar, the silence of the puck, and the Warcry of the Sven. That's a big one. That's the big one, the Warcry. So you can actually keep going aggressively. The Faceless Void is pure right click. It's pure physical damage. If you run into plus 20 armor, you're not doing a whole lot. So you gotta be sure to cut through that somehow. Alternatively, Vlad's for the team is pretty nice as well, or Battle Fury, that's also pretty nice. He's going to run into a puck. Silence, Hex, kind of being layered. Shouldn't matter with the Finger of Death. He'll take him down. Pero en inglés. Seguro no hay caster español. You guys are correct. Apparently the Spanish-speaking casting community has to step up their game. Get on the level of the English speakers. But again, the game, guys, we had a long game one, so we're not able to go into that second game. Oh, Static Storm, not going to quite drop in time. Puck's going to get yanked right back to the other side. Earth Splitter coming in. I don't think that's going to connect onto either of these two heroes. It won't. However, the Crush, Surge, hell will. Orb through onto both of them. And Exodus, they overcommitted. They'll lose 3 heroes total trying to go for that puck. It seems like the fault for Exodus is not really in their mechanical skill. It's not really in their game understanding. It's not really in their execution. As I say that, we have a completely missed Chronosphere on the top lane. They're going to chase us to Baga. BSJ looking for those bashes once again. Lunaro is still pretty healthy. He doesn't have any mana for a hammer though. Sovereign does have his shield still. God Strength wears off. They'll fall back. The weakness of Exodus, it seems, is the fact that they just don't know when to quit. Like, they just go in a little bit too far. They YOLO a little bit too much. Classic NA Dota. But, like, they have the ability to, like, take these fights in such a clean fashion if they just know when to say die. Like, if they know when to back off. They never do. So it's going to equalize the score perhaps a little bit more than you would expect given the start of Exodus. And the supports of Exodus are on the bottom of the totem pole at this point. Surprising considering how much they've actually been able to get done. But I guess the ET and Lion have been doing just as much in the meantime. Sven has actually gone for Armlet first. The aggressive item. Helm of the Dominator is a lot more standard. Armlet, defensively, of course, has a little bit more value early on. But as far as playing aggressively, it will let T-Show try to punish these Hand of Midases as much as possible. Again, the difference isn't going to be too huge, but Sven should still be able to get occasionally stacks created on the Ancients without worrying about those being stolen. And now we got a big smoke up. It's going to be Frozen running into a whole bunch of heroes. Blink Crush and Blink Waning Rift. That's a dead Disruptor. Double Blink revealed now from the T-Show squad, but this is the momentum that they need. Use these Blinks, get these kills, and try to keep Exodus from farming comfortably in the lanes. In Exodus, they need a lot of farm time to run a safe lane Faceless Void. Not quite the same heroes used to be. And Abaddon right now doesn't really have anything to contribute to this game outside of an occasional shield, which is a good spell, but you picked up this hero. You didn't pick up this spell, you know? Lich, Disruptor, they all have potentially the ability to swing these fights in favor of Exodus, but for the most part, it's all about the execution for Exodus. They have to land their combos. And T-Show, they have a little bit more leeway, just by virtue of having Blink Daggers, by having Sven. They mess up a little bit, it's not the biggest deal in the world. ESJ is going to get crushed for no damage. Ice Armor, you can see, pretty much balancing out the amp damage. Maybe not perfectly. Tower will fall in favor of Exodus. Tail is the only one here. Stomp is going to be attempted, but Cold Snap, and now the Curse of Avernus. He's not going anywhere. Dead Elder Titan tried to deny the tower. It is a tower trade, though, so I guess T-Show gets something elsewhere at least. Sven's pushing power with an Armlet is quite real. Now it looks like he might be going for a delayed Helm of the Dominator.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, it's a Lincoln Sphere first on Faceless Void. Wow. He's playing like he's an offlane Void who's just very far ahead. Lincoln Sphere still is really good up against T-Show. You block a whole lot of things. But as far as offensive power, Faceless Void, unlike a Weaver, will not naturally have a lot of offensive power. If he doesn't build into damage, he won't get damage. Same thing as Morphling or Medusa or all those other heroes that get Lincoln Sphere. You do need to build up damage on the Faceless Void. They'll run into the Puck right now. Static Storm. It is still castable because of the Glimpse. Sunstrike is going to scout him out. Puck now is going to get Static Stormed. Fields does fail. The Glimpse will bring him right over the Static Storm. Doesn't matter. Still got the kill. That was not clean. It was really bad, but doesn't matter. Still got kill. On a Puck, no less. They're going to try to go for Roche, but this is incredibly risky up against an Elder Titan who's already going to start throwing those spirits. Slaughter is ready to go at the moment's notice as well. Stomp will stun two. Or only one, actually. Stun the Roshan, but BSJ woke him up. Top lane tower still being pushed by the Sven. Will not be fight ready. Uses God's Strength, will take down a tower. Classic Roche for tier 2. T-Show are still stalling. Sunstrike to make it drop a little bit faster. Earth Splitter now going to come in. Dire will claim the Aegis and the kill. Will cost them the tier 2 tower. They have to make something happen with this. They have the Chronosphere. They have all the assets they could possibly want. But they are losing a lot of map control in the top lane for it. Roshan is always going to be expensive whenever you make that trade as the Dire side. And for T-Show, that's a little bit of extra gold for the Sven. Now he is able to clear out the stack, although it is, again, very, very small. Only a double. Wonder if the other game has launched yet, guys. I don't know. You could check. BSJ, gonna Chronosphere Linaro. He does have the extra armor. Sunstrike is gonna land. Couple more right clicks. Needs one more. He's gonna try to arm the toggle, glimpse back, and he'll die on impact. Sven down. I don't think they know where Baga is. This Lion also has a blink. That's a triple blink on the T-Show squad. Their initiation is huge right now. Not really sure how Baga got that gold, but we haven't seen that much from the Lion. Except for, occasionally throw out the spike to get a kill, Finger of Death to get a kill. You throw enough of those out, you get a lot of kills. Sovereign caught in the bottom lane. He can shield himself, he can use Borrowed Time. But it's not going to do a hell of a lot. He'll try to TP out, coil and stun. Going to give him a lot of juice back, but Borrowed Time runs out. You cannot borrow that much time. Got the Lincolns on the Void. That's kind of nice, I suppose, but with so many heroes having Blink Dagger, Lincoln Sphere will not hold if you really want it. If enemies really want you dead, you'd be dead. There's like 4 Hands of Midas in this game. 1, 2, 3, 4th coming on the way. Jeez. Late game Faceless Void, just trying to outplay Exodus. He's going to need to leverage this Hand of Midas into something big. Or leverage each Chronosphere into something huge. Los Lobos no está aquí. Boom. That's the extent of my non-English. That's a 5th grade Spanish education right there. Eat it. Enjoy it. Savor it. Exodus. They don't have a Chronosphere here yet. They're still in the area. They see the God Strength on Sven is already used. No God Strength should be no fight, at least in the mid lane. BSJ still going to get Blink, Hex Spike. Oh, it's actually going to miss up against the Lincoln Sphere. Now BSJ drops the Chronosphere, but there's still an angle here. Sunstrike's still going to land to the Slaughter, but that doesn't help BSJ in killing off the Lion. He will be able to just trade hits evenly, looking for those bashes now. Lands one onto Mandy. The attack speed is huge. With the Hand of Midas and the Power Treads, he's going to get the kill. In the meantime, the rest of the team takes down the tower. And they're looking at Tail as well. Slayer doesn't have a Yule Scepter, but he does have an Aghanim Scepter. Jeez. Level 2 Invoke, usually not too impressive. They get the glimpse back onto Tail, straight into a Static Storm. Heavy commitment for just an L time, but they'll be able to take him down. Chain Frost now bouncing through onto Lunaro. Maybe hits him twice. Maybe we'll hit him a 3rd time. Spike is going to slow him down. We'll hit him a 3rd time. My god, the bounces from Footy. Absolutely insane. 3 kills for Exodus across the map, fighting on 2 fronts. That's the execution from Exodus right there. Like, that's... Like, when they're able to back off, man, they're able to do some pretty serious work. And that means they're going to get at least 1 tower off of it. Lots of tower damage. EWolves aren't playing. Shazam, we're disbanding. Easy death win. Sure, you guys can wish. Crush is going to land, but that means Frozen has a glimpse. Nighttime range, not too friendly right now. BSJ is going to time walk forward, then teleport back. Whatever, man. Exodus make a gigantic push. Get their Faceless Void back on top of the net worth chart. His build, again, isn't really that offensive, but just being level 16, having that many levels worth of agility, plus the attack speed from the Hand of Midas, the Power Treads and agility, Lincoln Sphere stats, and now a Yasha, it all does add up versus a Slaughter who had Sprint on and has a Blink Dagger, really nothing else. So Exodus, they take a massive engagement across 2 fronts, which is impressive and also incredibly effective. If they're able to keep T-Show split out like that. Since T-Show have all these Blink Daggers, I don't know if Exodus can really count on that in the future. Sovereign, when he's spotted out, Spike will be off the mark. Crush will not, but there's a tower here, so they can't get this kill. I said, guys, you can't get this kill. They'll try to burst them down through the borrowed time. Now the Lich is coming in. Frost Blast going to slow down 2. They get the Sun onto Frozen. They'll try to work him down. Sunstrike going to be here, plus a Static Storm onto Lunaro, pushing him back with a Deafening Blast. Earth Splitter will not get the kill on Frozen. And now Tail looking for a Stomp will cancel it. And now he's Thunderstruck up with a Cold Snap. Is not going to get out of here. A wicked 6 spree for the Lich. Mandy's going to jump in and crush a couple. They have a Spike. They have a Coil. It's going to kill off Frozen, yes. But now the reinforcements are coming in. It's BSJ. He's been farming elsewhere. They see the puck. They know exactly where he is at. Yule Scepter looking for that blink out. Tornado is going to catch him, canceling the Blink Dagger. Pop the shield. Heal Orb up to the north. Sunstrike's going to spot him out for a split second. Blink now up even further north. No TP, though, from the puck. They may or may not give up this chase. I don't know. It seems like VV is going to live. But for Exodus, they preserve their kill spree on the Lich. Absolutely huge right now. And BSJ doesn't get any action, but he does shove the top wave all the way out. And for Exodus, they are, what a surprise, able to punish a tower dive from T-Show. We're just not in any position to do that, man. Like, you can't... It is possible to Finger of Death a Abaddon before he's actually able to pop up his Borrowed Time. Like, Borrowed Time only activates if you get knocked below that range. If you go from 401, is it, to 0, then you don't get Borrowed Time. And Finger of Death can do that, especially since it's level 2. But you fail that play, and suddenly you're down Finger of Death. You can't get any more kills, and you're diving a tower. Okay, guys. Message from the admins. Shazam has not showed up. This is 10 minutes late. They will wait 10 more minutes, and if that is the case, there will be a def win for EWolves. It doesn't seem like this game is going to end in time, however.
Time is money.
Yeah, I'll keep... Is that the, for all you non-English speakers in the chat, I will allow that link to stay. That will be the only time it's posted, though, so follow that link if you want the, I assume, Spanish stream. Or whatever language stream you guys want. I have no idea. I don't speak those languages. I speak some French. But French casting is not actually a thing. French Dota. Lol. Are there any good French players? Fucking Matt's a good analyst. That's about it. Used to be a decent French team. What was that? Like Denial Esports? Way back when? Those are the days. We still got a game now. Keep our eyes on this one. We'll see how much this Lich is able to get from his kill spree. Already he has quite a long one. Oh, jumping forward, Frost Blast. You can't chain Frost to kill a puck. Although you might be able to Sunstrike read him. Short jump forward, Sunstrike. Ooh. Oh, the phase shift! Oh, what a god indeed.
Is under attack.
Don't worry, boys, I caught it. Because I am a good observer. Move over, Scriff, move over, Wet-Bass. Mike Loris is in the house. Buck's like, what's the big deal? I don't understand. By the way, Sovereign's pushing in a tier 2 by himself. I think you will have to prepare this borrowed time. He wants to survive. He will snap the coil with the Force Staff. The Spike is going to miss up against the Yule Scepter. He'll blink out of there because the borrowed time makes him take no damage, and he's actually free and clear. What a god. Okay, well that happened. Stomp is going to land to Slayer in the meantime, but it's just the Elder Titan in the area versus an Invoker. Not good times there. Baden's great escape. Jesus. Still T-Show. They're not able to get that much room across the map. Now Sven may be able to push out. They may be able to clear out these Ancients. He's got the Echo Saber. He has a value build. And for 27 minutes in, I mean, this is about as much value as you can get. But it really doesn't seem like they'll be able to beat Exodus on the same level of team fight until BKBs come up. There are none even being built on the way, let alone up right now. So Exodus will leverage disadvantages that they have into the Diffusal Manta build for BSJ. I love it. Maybe the Lincoln Sphere and the itemization order, a little bit questionable. I think you probably get away with something a little bit greedier other than the Lincoln Sphere pickup. But hey, doesn't matter, got items. Shoot out the Iron Talon. Get yourself even more attack speed, more agility, more damage. The ability to purge off Warcry. That is the biggest thing here. Amplify damage if that's necessary as well, depending on the situation. Tier 2 towers, well, one more stands for T-Show, but they're not able to get back onto the offensive side. So they will have to hope that Exodus will stumble at going up the high ground. And maybe that'll be enough for T-Show to mount some sort of comeback. And knowing Exodus, like, they will probably lose a hero from time to time just by carelessly pushing out a lane too far. Not like this, though. You can't kill off Sovereign like that. Do you know who you're dealing with, Slaughter? This is like a demon horseman. You can't kill this guy. Not by yourself. I actually don't know what Abaddon is. Is he like relevant to the lore? Is he like one of the big ones? So I know Elder Titan is like a huge lore guy. He's like, he actually like splits worlds and universes and shit. Slaughter is just a fish. Like, that's all he'd be. He'd be fish. Abaddon's once again gonna show himself up towards top lane. Stomp gonna land. Are they gonna prep God Strength? Do they want this? Puck's gonna drop to the void. In the meantime, bottom lane, Sovereign has the borrowed time. Doesn't even need to pop it right now. Hammer's not gonna drop him below the threshold. Earth Splitter shouldn't kill him off either. They force him out of there. Monaro gonna blink to the north, but Sovereign's gonna turn around and look to chase back the Sven. They do not see him with the tornado. They will not be able to catch up to him. They may be able to catch up to the ET. No, BSJ's in the area. He just dropped his Chronosphere though to kill off a Puck. This is the time frame that you need for a Faceless Void safe lane. It's not an incredibly active early game hero, although with the Chronosphere, situationally you can contribute. For right now, he is able to, almost to the fullest extent of the hero, contribute into these fights. You could still go for more damage items. Go for like a value Eye of Scotty or something like that. Make your illusions a little more buff. Butterfly is incredible up against T-Show. But for right now, man, he's ready to go. It seems like they want to go up towards top lane. Time is money. T-Show should not be in this area at all. Because now they might just get glimpsed back. Oof, luckily for the Puck, that's not going to happen. Vision is not here for the Dire. Sovereign's pushing forward very aggressively just to get the team in this tower. Mandy's closing in with the Shadow Blade. They don't know about this either, but Slardar is like way behind enemy lines. To what end? Can he even kill off Frozen? Is going to amp damage and then blink away. Still, there's no observers in the area. And Exodus are going to try to go for this tier 3. With the Chronosphere's backup, they just have to land it on someone like a Puck and not get initiated upon, or Baga. That's good too. He'll get dilated out of his spike. Not a big deal. Stomp is there. Will land on a couple. Follow-up Blink Coil can land up to 3 here, but they're just not ready to fight yet because the Sven, he's still TPing from the top lane. Jump in onto Baga. Couple of shots. BSJ gets a very easy solo kill. In the back line in the meantime, they'll drop a rock on the Slardar, who was back there the entire time. And now they're going to spill in, looking for more. Glimpse back short onto Tail. He will stomp up, keep himself safe for a little while. Coral jumps to the back line, jumping from Lunaro. Gets a 2-man cleave fest onto BSJ and Footy, but he's unable to kill off either of them. Now the Chronosphere falls onto this Sven, killing him off. And it's VVV, the only one alive. Footy, the unstoppable Lich, is still alive. They buy back with the Sven, they buy back with the Puck. They just don't have enough gas in the tank at this point. Slayer's going to pop his BKB really late because why the hell not? And Lunaro, can he actually do anything here? He's going to get lifted up, stuck now in an ice wall with no BKB. He's not going to get out of there for a very long time, getting beaten down by the Forge Spirits and the Invoker himself. It's a Rax advantage now for Exodus. That wraparound from the Slaughter was not worth it. Puck is going to orb himself. Where? Where are you going, Puck? He's going to try to make a break for it up to the north. Short glimpse back is going to bring him right back into the clutches of the Faceless Void. Blink off to the right. You can't really catch a Puck with this lineup as Exodus. They do see him, though. Now they don't. Well, that was awkward, but Mandy, he's going to try to pick a fight with Slayer. He is still invis, and Exodus have not gotten a chance to pick up a gem or any true sight, seeing as though they were in the base of the enemy the entire time. Oh, VV, he's now tracked up by the Thunderstrike. That is bad. That means Glimpse is castable. Static Storm is there as well. He's stuck in the field. Is he taking enough damage? You'll Scepter will save him for a little while longer. They will take down Frozen. Disruptor down. Sovereign going to try to take down the Puck in the meantime. I'm more interested in this than this, honestly. It's more exciting. Sovereign v VVV. But they will break down Raxus in the meantime. BSJ going in pretty deep looking for Tail. Will fall back. Slayer still keeping his eyes on the prize. Mandy's Crush. Maybe it'll land here. It's only going to not actually do jack. They already lost the melee rack. Slayer now going to pop the BKB. Just look to charge in. Deafening Blast to push back the Slaughter. A couple more right clicks. Dead Fish. Dead and deep fried. Now they have their eyes set on the Puck. Chronosphere with a Tornado. What a combo here from Exodus. They'll get the kill easily though. T-Show are bleeding heroes. They'll call GG. And I might just have time to jump over to the other game, guys. Oh, wait. We might have a... Oh, it's a death win. Okay. Well, it would have been perfect. It would have been perfect. But guys, if you are interested in the status of Los Lobitos... I thought it was Los Lobos. Is it Los Lobitos or Lobos? I see two different people typing it two different ways. Please tell me. They won 2-0 because Shazam failed to show up. So there you go, guys. That means I'm done for today. It's been a pleasure casting these games for you guys. Write down in the chat what I should eat for dinner because it's dinner time for me. But if you enjoyed the games, even though English may not be your cup of tea, be sure to hit that follow button on the channel. Follow me on Twitter as well, at Mike Loris Gaming on Facebook, if you prefer that. And I'll see you guys next time. Congratulations to Exodus.